Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GMAT out of this book here, the GMAT Review, the official guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase it immediately. You will find it at mba.com. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 178, problem solving number 191. Let's take a look at it. It's important that you have the book in front of you so that you're able to read the problem along with me. Let's take a look. Turn to page number 178. It says the inside dimension of a rectangular box are 6 by 8 by 10 inches. Alright. So I am told that I have a rectangular box which has the dimensions of 6 by 8 by 10. What are we going to do with that box? A cylindrical canister is to be placed inside the box. So we're going to put a cylinder inside the box. I don't know why. I guess for amusement. We'll see. So that it stands upright. Alright, so cylinder is going to stand upright inside the box with a closed box when a closed box rests on one of its faces. When the closed box rests on one of its faces. Closed box, emphasis on closed box, meaning that the cylinder is not going to protrude. It's not going to extend out. The cylinder cannot be taller than the height of the box as whichever face it is standing on. You have to pay attention to the wording. Of all such canister that could be used, what is the radius in inches of one of that? What is the radius in inches of the one that has the maximum volume? What's the radius in inches of one of those possible cylinder which has the maximum volume? Let's talk about it for a second. The very first thing we have to understand is, how does one figure out the volume of a cylinder? Let me draw a cylinder for you. It's not a very nice looking cylinder. Let me try again. The cylinder, the volume of a cylinder, what does volume mean in English language? In plain English language, what does volume mean? Volume of anything. Whether you're talking about a volume of a box or a cylinder or a sack, what does volume mean? Volume simply means how much stuff you can put in it. How much space is contained in that thing. How much stuff you can put in it. Well, the volume of a cylinder depends on two things. There are two things that will determine how much stuff, as I put it, it's a technical term, is stuff. How much stuff I can put in a cylinder depends on two things. It depends on how wide open the cylinder is on the top, and also depends on how deep it is. How deep it is determined by the height. This height of the cylinder tells me how deep it is. How wide open it is determined by its radius. The bigger the radius, the bigger the area of the circle, this circle that we have on the top, the opening, the bigger the radius, the bigger the area of the circle, and more wide open it is. So basically the volume of a cylinder is simply the area of the circle that you see on the top, which is simply pi r squared, I hope you know it, times the height. That's it, that's your volume. So if you want to maximize the volume, you only have two choices. There are only two variables that determine the volume of a cylinder. Pi, of course, is a constant, so you either can manipulate the radius or you can manipulate the height. Which one is more fruitful? Which one will give me the maximum volume? It is the radius. Why? Think of it for a second. If, for example, if I take the cylinder and I increase this height by 10 times, the volume will go up 10 times. But if I increase the radius by 10 times, the volume will go up 100 times. You see? If I double the height, the volume of a cylinder just doubles. But if I double the radius, because that 2 is going to be squared, the volume of the cylinder will be quadruple. So we want to maximize the radius. That's one thing to keep in mind. So now the question is, in this box here, how can I maximize the radius of my cylinder? Nothing else matters here. The height is going to be determined by whatever is left over. We want to concentrate on the radius. Which is what the question is asking actually. The question is, of all such canister that could be used, what is the radius in inches of one of those cylinders that has the maximum volume. So let's take a look at it. There are only three possibilities. Since the volume is, let me rewrite it a little bit lower, 6 by 8 by 10, volume of a box is this. There are only three possibilities for the base of that box. The base can be 6 by 8. Let me draw the base, which I'm going to show you here like this. 6 by 8, or it could be 6 by 10. 6 by 10, or it could be 8 by 10. Let me draw it here, 8 by 10. Now, in this one, what is the maximum radius that you can have? It's not 4. You cannot have 4. You can only have 3. Because if you have 4, this is fine. But right here, we do not have 8 inches. If you had a 4-inch thing, it will go like this and will extend out. The circle will be extending out. We can't have that. So the maximum radius that you can have in this one is 3 inches because this side constrains it. I shouldn't have done this now because now it's messy. You understand? So the maximum radius you can have in this scenario, maximum radius is 3. Here, the maximum radius you can have again is 3 because this thing constrains me. Same thing here. If I were to put a 3-inch radius here, a lot of the space will be wasted. This space will be wasted. Same thing here. Some space will be wasted. About 2 inches on this side will be wasted. Here also we'll have some waste, but we can put a radius of 4 inches. This way or that way. You understand? So since we are trying to maximize the radius, since we are trying to maximize the volume, and the way to maximize the volume of a canister, as they call it, or cylinder, is to maximize its radius. And the maximum radius that we can fit in this box is the radius of 4. So it's going to sit like this. It's going to sit on a base of 8 by 10, and it will have a height of 6 inches. So this cylinder will have a height of 6 inches, and will have a radius of 4 inches. In other words, a diameter of 8 inches. That's it. That's your answer, 4 inches. The answer is B. That's all I can do here. There is no solution that I can present to you. It's just it's about thinking. You just have to think logically. The answer is B. 4-inch radius. That's all. I hope you were able to follow my logic. I hope you were able to follow my explanation, and I hope that you found it helpful. If you wish to buy my DVDs where I show you the solutions to all the math problems, or if you wish to work with me on a face-to-face basis on a private tutoring, in either case, go to my website at www.prep4gmat.com, alright? And send me an email. Thank you.